Hi, welcome in. It's Shaped by Kate. Today is day 2 of yoga and we are going to work on balance. So let's start at the top of our mat. Since we are working on balance, let's align our core. I want you to find your topmost hip bone with your middle finger on both sides. And then I want you to find your outermost rib cage with your thumb. With that space, I want you to hug that in so you close the space down and then hug it towards your belly button. So that way your core is nice and engaged. Now for our first movement. Right now we're in mountain pose Tadasana and we're going to find a twist with just our upper body. So inhale to prepare, exhale, twist and look to the right. So shoulders are going to open up to the right. Exhale all the way out and then inhale, come back to center, square everything forward. Notice if you twist, if the knees moved with you. When we twist, we want our knees facing forward, so we're just opening up the shoulders and the upper body. Good, let's do the other side. Inhale, exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Beautiful. Now let's head to our first standing balancing pose, our tree pose, or Vrikshasana. Start to shift weight to the right sole of your foot. Turn the left toes out and lift the heel and just set it on the inner edge of your ankle. This is a modified tree pose if you're maybe just starting to work on balance. In tree pose, your hands can either be by your side, at heart center, or even reaching up to the sky where your branches are extended. Hold those branches up if this pose is too easy. If it's still too easy, I want you just to gently close your eyes and hold this pose while you're engaging your core. If you want to move on, let's move on. So you can open your eyes and set that sole of the foot on the inner edge of your calf. Moving on from tree pose, let's just turn that knee forward so our hips are square again and hug in that left knee towards your chest. So hands are going to reach around the knee. If you can't quite reach, you're going to hold on to the outer edges of your thigh. What we're working on in this pose is being able to hug that knee into our chest so that you feel that hip flexor stretch. From here on out, if you need a more advanced pose, close your eyes, breathe in and breathe out in your balance pose. Good. Go ahead and set the foot down, bring hands to heart center and heel toe the feet together. Let's find our chair pose. Sit the hips back like you're sitting in a chair with your chest tall. Chair pose or Utkatasana. Maybe find a round of breathing with your eyes closed. Then next time you exhale, go ahead and hinge at the waist, so lean forward and step the left toes back into your high crescent lunge. Unhinge from the waist and sit up nice and tall. Good. Bend that right knee nice and low. Left heel can come off of the ground. Inhale, reach your hands up to the sky. High crescent lunge or Ashta Chandrasana. Bring hands back to heart center and let's reverse this flow. So once hands come to heart center, hinge at the waist, lean forward, step the left toes to your chair pose, and stand up to your mountain pose. Now finding tree pose on the other foot. Shift weight to the left sole of your foot, turn out your right toes, and lift the heel and just set it at the inner edge of your ankle. Since you know where you're going, you can now modify from here. Stay here, adjust your hands, or adjust the sole of your foot to be at the inner calf. Reach your branches up to the sky or gently close your eyelids and find a little bit harder of a balance posture. Focus on your inhale, exhales, and also focus on your gaze. So that gaze forward just across your nose is called your dristi. Wonderful. Now let's close that knee, so square the hips and hug your right knee into your chest. Hands wrap around the outer edges of your thigh, or if you can reach, they wrap around the front of your knee so that you can hug that thigh close to your belly. Inhale and exhale at your own pace. Find stableness and almost ease in this pose. So remember, if it feels too easy, close those eyes. Feel like a master in your balancing poses. Your next breath out, set that sole of the foot down on the ground. Bring the feet together, hands at heart center. Sit back into your chair pose. Hinge forward at the waist and step the right toes back into your high crescent lunge. You can readjust the feet too if your one step back doesn't quite do it. Inhale to extend the arms, extend the core. Exhale to bend the left knee. Relax the left toes, making sure they're not scrunching up onto your mat. Now let's reverse the flow. Hands come to heart center, hinge at your waist, step into chair pose. Inhale to rise, mountain pose. Now let's come into your tree pose again. So you can pick any of your variations. If you want to go further, let's bring the left sole of your foot to the inner part of your thigh. So your foot can either be above or below the knee. We don't ever want to put pressure on that knee joint. And I'll turn here to the front so you can see what that looks like. Notice too, I'm keeping my hand on my ankle so I can make sure that foot stays on the inner thigh. If you release your hand and that foot slides onto your knee joint, then just keep your hand where it's at. Let's find one final breath in tree pose at your own pace. Then this time when you release, you're just going to set the left foot down and immediately go into chair pose. This time the left foot is going to step back at an angle as we find warrior one. So you can slide or step, set the heel down, left toes turn out about 45 degrees, bend in the right knee. Feet should be a little bit more narrow in your lunge pose, since this is our warrior pose, or I like to call them our fighting poses. We don't want a very wide stance when we're fighting. To find length in the core, inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. For my people maybe with bad knees, if the left toes turning out is just too much, modification is back to your high crescent lunge. Warrior one or Virabhadrasana. Then at your own pace, come back to chair pose. Inhale to rise, find mountain pose. Let's switch to the other side. Shift weight to your left foot and find either your same tree pose or maybe a more advanced position with the sole of your foot now at your inner thigh. Foot and thigh are evenly pressing against each other so you can find that balance. Inhale to exhale as you hold tree. Now just like a tree outside, there's also some swaying from side to side if it's hard to balance this pose. Welcome in any falls into your practice and just head right back into that pose. Last breath in and out in tree. As you exhale out, let's land in chair pose. So turn the knee in, set the sole of the foot down, sit into chair. And then slide or step the right toes back at an angle, bend the left knee, find warrior one on the other side. Find strength in your warrior stance, reach your arms to the sky. Since we have both feet on the ground, still a balanced pose since we're uneven, but try closing your eyes for a moment and just feel this pose, especially if you maybe are looking into a mirror while you're doing this practice. Feel strong and beautiful in your warrior pose. Inhale in, exhale out. Now let's reverse the flow, so bring the hands to heart center. Hinge at your waist, step back into chair pose, feet together. Inhale to rise, mountain pose. Beautiful. Keep those hands at heart center and gently close your eyes to end your practice, sending gratitude towards your yoga and sending gratitude towards the balance in your life. Now bowing forward as respect to your practice, Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. Subscribe for more yoga videos.